IBM is making their storage software smarter when it comes to ransomware. They've added AI enhancements to their FlashCore modules, which are designed to detect storage anomalies at the block level. This inline analysis can be used to detect when ransomware attempts to encrypt or destroy data during an attack. They've also made improvements to Storage Defender, a resilience solution that puts elements of various offerings together to allow for quick detection and streamlined recovery of data should attackers strike. I was at the IBM focused Share conference. That's a mainframe focused conference earlier this week. A lot of talk about ransomware in the mainframe space. Certainly a lot of talk about this from a lot of storage platforms. Tom, you don't come from the storage background, you come from the security background. So what do you make of this?
Well, I think it's interesting that IBM storage is kind of getting up there where a lot of our other storage companies have really been expanding this idea of ransomware, because I liken it to the measures that people would take to keep pests out of storage of other, perishable goods like grains or, fruits and vegetables. Like once they get in there, if you don't know that they're in there, you could lose entire, warehouses full of important assets, right? So sub strawberries for hard drives and sub pests for ransomware attackers. And the sooner you can get to them, the lower the dwell time, the better it is. Well, you can't get any lower than inline. And that's one of the things that our friend Krista McComber over at the Futurum Group mentioned in the linked article is this inline scanning capability really gives IBM a leg up for their customers because they can see this as it's happening. And for those of you who don't know, kind of one of the things that a lot of these data protection companies are doing is they're doing entropy detection. So if you can't compress data, that means it's encrypted, right? Well, if you didn't encrypt it, somebody did. And that's usually step one in trying to figure out, am I under attack right now? So you're reducing the dwell time from we've encrypted everything to we encrypted some of the data and we're trying to stop people from getting to the rest of it. And I think that that's a valuable thing for people that want to have that reassurance. If I have, terabytes and petabytes and exabytes and yottabytes and whatever else of data out there, I want to make sure that I can still get to it. And that's where the Storage Defender platform comes into play too. Because as we've talked about many, many times, and I'll quote our good friend Curtis Preston here, it's not just backup, it's backup and recovery. You have to have a plan for what happens when things go wrong. And that's where Storage Defender comes in handy. Yes, we're going to detect it when something goes wrong. But in the event that something does, we're going to have an option for you to recover things. And that is a huge valuable thing because now I know that I can quickly replace the data and I can eject the attackers out of my network and I can make sure that I'm not losing anything because lost data means lost money, means anger customers, and it means regulatory filings because you have to now within 2 weeks, you have to tell people that you were impacted. I don't have to do a lot of extra paperwork. And I don't want to tell my customers, hey, funny thing happened on the way to the store. Your data got lost. So I'm excited to see that IBM is kind of integrating this into their storage platforms. And given the resurgence in IBM storage as of late, I think this is a huge selling point because in today's market, you have to have a data protection solution, no matter what it is, because customers are not going to buy something where there's a chance, as low as it might be, that they can get infected or have things destroyed by things that are outside of their control. And so I think that this is something that is going to be valuable for IBM's marketing in the future. And one thing that I think is exciting about this is given the discussion that we've been having around data protection and other topics like this at Security Field Day, I'd love to see IBM come to the event and tell us more about what they're doing and let our group of security focused delegates kind of dig into it. Because I promise you, with folks like Kristen McComber and a lot of the other people in the industry who really understand the technology, if they can explain it to our delegates, there's not a customer on this planet that's not going to want to buy it right away. So IBM, give me a call. I got a place for you to show us everything.